Okay, here's part 2. And we were talking about the facial bones, and we had just went over the inferior nasal condyla, which was right inside and allows the air to be warmed before it goes to the lungs. So now the mandible is the upper chin right here. And now, as we'll go, it's hard to tell again on here, but I will show you the best I can. So the body is like right here. The angle is really where it angles. The ramus is right above the angle, up here a little bit more. So the angle, ramus, mandibular condyle is right here, and the mandibular notch is right where his little jaw comes off. Right there, little dip it takes right there. And the condylar process is right there where it goes inside and is able to open up and down. Okay, now for the vertebral column. Okay. Point out the four curves of the adult spinal column. Which two are primary and which two are secondary? So, the 4 is 1, 2, 3, and then 4, way down here at the bottom. And it's the cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and pelvic. Okay? And the cervical vertebrae, how many do they have? Is 7. 7 vertebrae. And the atlas, what does this bone articulate with? And it is C1. It supports the head and movement of the head. And then demonstrate that joint, you're able to go like this, up and down. What is unique about the transverse process of all cervical vertebrae compared to those of thoracic and lumbar vertebrae? This is the only one that moves the head alone. So it doesn't use any of the other of the vertebrae to move the head. You're just moving the head with the cervical ones. Okay, the thoracic vertebrae is 12. There's 12 of them. And I'm sorry, I was trying to find my little paper on that I wanted to show you. So the transverse process, one second. Okay, we'll just move on. So that's the thoracic. And for the intravital foramen, what passes through this foramina in the middle is the spinal nerve root. And so one thing I can show you, did we go over that? Not yet. Okay, so then the lumbar vertebrae has 5. And the sacrum is down here, and these are all fused together. And about 16 to 18 years old is when they start, and it's S1 through S5. And the tailbone is this little tiny bone right down here. And for a woman, it's in, and for a male, it's out. So I guess this is a woman. Okay, and now for the sternum. The mandible is right here, this part. The body is the lower sternum, right down here. The xiphoid process is this little point at the bottom of the sternum. The jugular notch is right here at the top of the sternum. Okay, now ribs. These are the true ribs right up here, ribs 1 through 7 are the true ribs. 8 through 12 are the false ribs, also called broncotile ribs. And then we have the floating ribs right here. And those stitch on to the vertebrae. Well, they don't stitch on, but they go on from the vertebrae from the back. And they're all hooked on there. Okay, and I think that's all that I need to speak about. I wanted to thank you, and I hope everyone has a great day.